Hello and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Michael Warwick.
And I'm Deanna Hamilton. This is the last show of the semester, but don't worry, we've got great material for you. On this edition of GC360, is the West Campus 441 intersection a danger to drivers?
And what is the Best Buddies program? It might be a way to make a friend in your Milledgeville community.
And later, you don't want to miss our Christmas segment and all those beautiful decorations. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Last week, I interviewed the interim CEO of Oconee Regional Medical Center, Steve Johnson, here on GC360. He talked about steps he's taking to deal with the troubled institution. This week, I took another look into problems at the hospital and plans to combat them. Milledgeville's community hospital, Oconee Regional Medical Center, is on the ropes. Facing serious financial losses, the hospital is trying to move forward under new leadership. As its own entity, the hospital will have to do that without help from the city.
The county is taking a more active role with the hospital, as it should be. The county will be the first stop for assistance with the hospital.
3 months ago, the future looked bleak. A failed partnership with Navicent Health in Macon and poor communication between hospital administration and staff had the institution drowning on multiple fronts, financially and in the press. Doctors felt underrepresented in meetings that had major implications for the hospital. One doctor said he couldn't even name who was on the board. CEOs came and went. Finally, doctors regained a voice in board meetings, and now the hospital has started fresh.
At this point, I think things are pretty good. There was certainly a lot of poor communication at times on both sides. We did not do a good job talking with each other, and when that happens, invariably there's going to be conflict.
The problems are clear. In the most recent quarter, Finance Committee head Vanessa Walker reported losses of $349,000, an upgrade from losses of $640,000 in the previous quarter. The specific solutions are not clear. Many board deliberations are private. But the general consensus between interim CEO Steve Johnson and the doctors is that things have to be cut.
You've seen there are a lot of issues to handle. So on the financial side of things, we're certainly talking regularly about both cutting costs and increasing revenue streams.
Exactly how that might happen isn't clear. Until the doors to the boardroom open up, the public won't know what the hospital has up its sleeve to get out of the red. For GC360, I'm Michael Warwick. The hospital has been in dire straits for a couple of years now, and it doesn't seem that things can get much worse.
Georgia College prides itself on being a serene place, but that's not always true when it comes to driving. One place in particular is threatening to many drivers, the main entrance to West Campus. GC360 Amanda Norris headed to the 441 bypass to investigate.
Right outside of West Campus Drive is a challenging left turn that Georgia College students take every day. This intersection has been the scene of far too many accidents.
Last month maybe, my friend got into a car accident turning left, so I already knew it was unsafe, but now it's just, I don't really like it at all.
I had almost got hit a couple times through that intersection, but I've never been involved in a wreck.
The left turn leaves students sitting in the median, waiting for cars to pass by, and only a split second to make the turn.
There's just so much traffic, especially like because the high school's right around the corner, so when the high school's getting out, there's a lot of traffic, and it's very difficult to make a left-hand turn.
GCSU student Sydney Watts has started an online petition demanding a stoplight at the intersection. She was not available for an on-camera interview, but answered some of our questions through email. I had initially started this petition as an assignment for my philosophy and social justice class. If the petition gets 500 signatures, I will be sending it into the Department of Transportation so they can see the variety of people this intersection affects daily.
I am definitely for the stoplight petition. I think it would be a really good idea to have that there because there have been a lot of accidents. I've heard from other people and I've seen a few myself. And it just keeps students and other people safe there who are making that left turn or that right turn, whatever.
Students who live at Magnolia Park Apartments, which is right across the street from West Campus, also face the challenge of making a left turn at the same intersection.
I live at Magnolia, and I honestly try to avoid that turn as often as possible, so I don't make it very often. And when I do have to, I choose like times of the day where I know it won't be busy. So I avoid like anywhere from like 3 to like 6 o'clock because I know people are getting off of work and off of school. So
after listening to these student opinions, I decided to try and make the turn myself. During the busy time of 6 o'clock, it took me 3 minutes to safely make the turn into the intersection, and then I waited another 2 minutes inside the median before it was safe to complete the turn. Get this guy like struggling. He's struggling really hard. The petition has 476 signatures and needs 500 for a traffic light to be considered by the State Department of Transportation. For GC360, this is Amanda Norris.
As many of our students can attest, Georgia College is always providing new opportunities for students to learn in the way that best fits their needs. This includes not only college students, but also students from the Baldwin County community. GC360's Nikki Vandenhoek has this story about GC's early college program.
Early College has given 7th through 12th graders the opportunity to learn in an alternative setting to the traditional middle school and high school. Dr. Martin Lamon, the Georgia College Graduate Coordinator for Creative Writing, started Georgia College Early College about 10 years ago.
Early College is an actual public school here in the college, at Georgia College and State University. And so what you have is about 55 students each year from Baldwin County and Putnam County who come here in the 7th grade, and then they continue up and up and up all the way through 12th grade. And the point is, by the time they're 11th or 12th graders, they actually take some joint enrollment classes. So they take 1101, 1102 in English, and maybe some other core classes. And the goal is to get these kids, to really think about going to college.
The Early College program has prepared many students for college.
I mean, it's not easy. Not everyone can do it, but I have a part-time job and I'm doing this, so I've learned to balance my time. The teachers are there to help you, and they've taught me lessons like, go to your professors, go to class every day, because that's really going to help.
Georgia College Early College students have enjoyed their first year with the Early College program.
I like this school better. It gives us an opportunity to get involved in college stuff.
And then when I came here, my grade went up to a B+ because my teachers helped me for a really long time.
Georgia College English major Shelby Smith teaches 7th grade Early College students creative writing for her capstone class.
When you actually do creative writing, you can really express yourself and you can get out all the emotions that they've been bottling up. And with 7th graders, there's like a lot of stuff going on right now. So the fact that they kind of get to go through this program and they can write and they can express themselves means really a lot. And I think it's a really great program because of that.
Georgia College Early College educates students towards successful futures. I'm Nikki Vandenhoek, reporting for GC360.
Georgia College students have the opportunity to form relationships with members of the Milledgeville community through the Best Buddies program. So GC360's Mary Henderson has the inside look on the organization.
A night spent with a best buddy is always a good time. Your best buddy is someone who you spend time with, someone who enjoys your company, someone you have a special bond with.
Best Buddies at Georgia College is a nonprofit organization that gives students the opportunity to form friendships with members of the Milledgeville community who have developmental or intellectual disabilities.
You do dinner, or you go to the park, or you go rollerblading, like anything that you would do with a friend, you can do with a buddy most of the time. You just ask them, and usually they have some good ideas.
A group of Best Buddies met for an evening of food, dancing, and fun at the annual Fall Ball. But being a buddy isn't just for events like this one. The goal of the organization is to form real friendships. Hallie Pangborn has been a member for 5 years and serves as co-president of the group.
Basically what we do is we're partners with something called the Life Enrichment Center, which is a center for adults with disabilities, and we help pair some of their members there with college students to form a friendship and to break down that barrier between people with and without disabilities.
A
According to Pangborn, people with disabilities have, on average, only 3 friendships in their lifetime. This program gives them the opportunity to form another. Like any other friendship, the experience is rewarding.
And they just really love it, and they consider us all they're really good friends, and everything we do just brightens their day, and I just love it, every part of it.
Seeing how excited and happy our buddies get and having a small role in that part is just the most incredible, rewarding thing ever.
If the goal of the group is to break down barriers between students and people with disabilities, they seem to be succeeding. Reporting for GC360, I'm Mary Henderson.
Big changes are coming to the Baldwin County school system as the schools themselves could take on a completely different look. GC360's Kit Souther went to our local public schools to find out more.
Baldwin County is making a change to a charter school system. Last year, Georgia enacted a law allowing school systems to choose their governance model.
After doing all the research and having presentations, our school board decided that the best model for our school district would be charter system.
Price says change will be felt in the classroom.
Actually, pre-K through 12 would be part of the charter system, which means that all of the schools will have flexibility to really look at innovative programming to meet the needs of their students.
Mark Wark, Assessment and Accountability Director at Baldwin County Schools, says if all goes well, the system will go into effect by fall of 2017.
Submit our final application in December to the state, and they will send back revisions. We'll redo the revisions and go forward. We're hoping to be fully implemented in the charter system by the fall of 2017. What we're really looking at is not really class size, we're looking at service models to where now we're serving kids for their need and not by a criteria. Our elementary schools being able to provide more specific and direct services to those kids that may not meet state requirements, we can now do that under a charter system.
Members of the community will have an opportunity to become more involved in the Baldwin County school system.
The charter system allows us to do that because each school will have a local school governance team that will be involved in what happens in that school as it relates to educating the students that are assigned to a specific school.
The charter school system will allow for a more flexible and effective way to educate the students in Baldwin County. Reporting for GC360, I'm Kit Souther.
Coming up on GC360, our anonymous interview with the student behind the Snapchat profile GCSU Nation.
And Georgia College has a new media group on campus. It's a real odyssey. Find out more after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
welcome back to GC360. Happy holidays, guys. So Jess, remember that time that we were talking about all your pets on your farm?
Yeah, I used to have pet chickens, but now I only have a dog and 2 snakes.
Snakes? Why do you have snakes?
I don't know, they're fun. They're good pets.
That's awesome. GC360's Mary Henderson has a scoop on some more unusual pets.
This probably isn't what you have in mind when you think of the family pet. Nor this. The family dog or the cat at the foot of your bed as you go to sleep is more like it. Well, think again. Some Georgia College students keep pets because they offer a sense of comfort, whether it be a fluffy cat or a fuzzy spider. Charlotte Lauer has kept a tarantula for 3 years.
Her name's Nutcracker. I named her after Pocahontas. That was like her original name. And she's 3 now, but she'll hopefully live up to 20 years.
But why would someone want a tarantula as a pet?
I'd love having her out and crawling on me. I really like spiders, so I love watching her molt and change. And people's reactions are always really fun.
Other pets aren't fuzzy, but smooth and bumpy, like Lindsay Creel's geckos.
These are leopard geckos. The first one, Cleo, I got her off of Bobcat Exchange from somebody who was leaving the country and needed somebody to buy her lizard. And then I saw Caesar in the store and I had to get him. They're just really cool pets and they have really awesome personalities too.
Jenna Bass thinks the same of her bearded dragon, Spike.
I love that he'll just sit with me, like with whatever I'm doing. He just kind of keeps me company. He does have a hammock. It's pink, and he loves to sit in it all day. They're supposed to sit under a light.
But what goes into taking care of these pets? What do they eat?
Crickets, twice a week.
That's kind of the worst part about it, though, is that I have to get crickets and roaches and mealworms.
Mostly vegetables. They can eat bugs, but I don't do that because it's kind of gross. So I have to feed him like protein supplements every so often.
For those of you who prefer cats and dogs, these bobcats hope you'll keep an open mind about their companions.
I can get people to hold her and touch her, change their minds about spiders maybe.
There's really nothing not to like. He just sits and hangs out, so.
I never thought that I would be a reptile lover. I grew up with like fuzzy animals like bunnies and hamsters and stuff. And I got her and I fell in love and now I love every kind of lizard.
No matter what your animal looks like, where you got it, or what you feed it, having a pet can be a rewarding experience. Reporting for GC360, I'm Mary Henderson.
I cannot believe that this is our last show.
I know, it's really bittersweet.
It is. I'm going to miss it. You know, I'm going to miss it. I think we have to take some pictures afterwards. Yeah. And then maybe we can post one to GCSU Nation. No show.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. GCSU Nation is the username of a Snapchat account of a person who posts different snaps on campus that people send in. GC360 producer James Beeman interviewed the mysterious creator of the Snapchat phenomenon. We agreed to shield his identity by keeping him in the shadows.
All right. So how did the idea for GCSU Nation come about?
It was our first week here, and I went down to Athens a couple weekends later, like that first weekend after like orientation stuff, like freshman stuff. Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, "Hey, check out this Bulldog Nation." I was like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." And I was like, "I wonder if GCSU has anything like that." So I looked around, like searched for usernames, and they didn't have anything along the line. So I was like, "Well, I mean, might as well try, give them something to do." So.
All right. Are you the only person who has control over it?
I've allowed my roommate to do it if I ever can't do it for a longer period of time.
Yeah. How many snaps do you get per day?
Right now I'm thinking upper 200s, 300s probably.
Everything from people studying to people showing off what appears to be drugs like weed and cocaine sometimes show up on GCSU Nation. How do you determine what type of content gets shown?
There's really no process I have to it. Some days I'll post anything and everything that is sent in to me, and some days I only post select things. But I mean, it's 90% of the content that gets sent in, and whatever's getting sent in is whatever's going to get posted for the most part.
What is the funniest thing you've seen?
There's this one video I got sent in. It was earlier on in the year. This guy, I guess he was sitting in the study room of a library, or like just sitting out in the public in a public area, and all of a sudden he's looking at his computer, I guess on his My Math lab, and he just goes, "Me, like, what the?" Like, you just like see all these people in the library, just like, what, man? Like, what's the matter?
If there was one thing you could tell the followers of GCSU Nation, what would it be?
I'm doing this for y'all. Like, I started this because I wanted our whole entire school to have something in common, I guess. So, I mean, it's all up to y'all if y'all want it to keep coming, keep sending pictures. And I do joke around with, like, all my friends. I'm just like, you may not know this, but I know everything that's going on campus at all times, basically. And, like, it's kind of cool being able to say that you do that.
How does it feel to have that sort of power?
I really, like, it doesn't really affect anything. I just joke around with it a little bit. Like, if my roommate makes me mad, I'll just be like, I can post a picture of you and make your next few days not fun. I mean, like, but I really don't abuse the power.
Okay, well, that's good to
hear.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
College is often a time for people to get into relationships. You meet someone, you like them, they like you. But what if the object of your affection doesn't live in Milledgeville? Jai, you know about that.
I do. It's very stressful. Because, you just want to see Bae. You just, like, want to hug them and hold them and Netflix and chill. But thankfully, GC360's Amanda Norris explores the trials and tribulations of the long-distance relationships.
Being in a long-distance relationship takes time, energy, and money. But it must be worth it because there are plenty of college students making their long-distance relationship work.
I think it's definitely worth it in some ways because I have like 4 days out of the week where I can really dedicate my time to school, and then the weekend's really about us and spending time together. So it's kind of how my relationship's been for the past year and a half.
You have to put some effort into it, I guess. You can't just expect it to come to you. That's what I've learned.
Sometimes it's hard to see couples on campus and knowing that they get to see each other every day, whereas in my situation, I don't get to see my significant other every single day. I get to see him whenever I can. So sometimes that's really hard.
I probably go up there like once every 3 weeks or so, but I'll see her probably like either every weekend or every other weekend usually.
Despite these drawbacks, they work to maintain their relationships.
Well, I mean, I just enjoy spending time around her, and I figure that I mean, I'd rather spend time with her than find someone else, and I don't think I could find someone else.
Well, I have been through a long distance relationship with another guy before, so kind of knew how it was going to go down, but I figured I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, see how it goes, even though we're 2 hours away.
Although these relationships work with these students, they're not for everyone.
Something about being so far away and knowing, she has all this time that would have normally been spent with me. She was spending it with other people, often guys, and that was making me jealous. So you have to build your own life and hope that that person is going to accept that.
Reporting for GC360, I'm Amanda Norris.
A new social content platform has made its way to Georgia College.
GC360's Olivia Todd has the details on what the Odyssey has to offer.
Life lessons from flowers, late night Barb's experiences, and 10 signs you're obsessed with Christmas are just a few articles that have been published on Georgia College's new social content platform, The Odyssey. The Odyssey was founded by 2 students at Indiana University in 2014, and its presence has grown to 350 communities nationwide, Georgia College being one of them.
It's based in New York, but it's going on a bunch of different campuses all across the nation.
Slayton states that the head editor, Josh Parrish, contacted a representative at Kennesaw State University and through a series of phone calls requested that the Odyssey come to Georgia College.
We launched 2 or 3 weeks later with like 25-something writers.
The Odyssey currently has 34 writers at Georgia College who get the freedom to choose their own stories.
We think of a subject and you can write on any subject that you want. And you start with a
rough draft of it, and you write up what you think you want to do. You make a headline, a sub-headline, and then it goes to the editors, and they edit everything that you write, and then it sends back to you. It sends to a higher-up editor, and then after a week it gets published.
The publication, which is completely online, relies on content sharing and word of mouth in order to spread their articles, much like other popular sites such as BuzzFeed. These sites offer a unique perspective, but Dr. Kristen English says that the readers should be conscious consumers.
So I think it's important for us to know the difference between entertainment and information, and I think that line has been blurred a little too much. The hardest part about sites like this is that information does go viral, but whether or not that information is valuable to, advancing our knowledge is a whole nother thing.
English suggests that journalism is a balancing act.
Love their quizzes. I will take them all the time on my app. But at the end of the day, there has to be a balance in order for us to be meaningful consumers of information.
The publication, which launched the beginning of November, currently has no plans to become an RSO or student media outlet such as the Colonnade.
The Colony puts out a lot of great stuff about downtown, just the local area. But at the same time, that's a school sanctions club, and with the Odyssey, if you want to go a different way, then if you want to have different views, or not saying you can't have that with the Colony or somewhere else. I'm just saying there's definitely a little bit more freedom with what kind of content you can put out.
The Odyssey currently has a full team of writers, but will be recruiting for writers next semester. For GC360, I'm Olivia Todd.
It seems like it's much easier to spend money than it is to save it, especially when you're in college.
That's true. I can't even afford the 4 for $4 at Wendy's anymore, but it's all good. Michelle Dubin has some tips on how to save us some cash.
We like to think that money grows on trees, but it doesn't. Many GCSU students can be seen breaking their bank from eating out or going downtown, but there is a way to save.
Try to be involved in campus because there are always student meetings you can go to with free food. General life stuff like, don't go to the grocery store hungry, right? Don't eat out if you can help it.
It can be difficult to save when you're surrounded by so many temptations.
There's always the temptation to go out and do things with friends, and that costs money.
But having a job can help you. According to Nationwide, 3 out of 4 students in college hold a job.
I work at Old Clinton Barbecue, and that's where I get a lot of my spending money and everything like that.
Worked for SNAP, and the money I earned for that, I put a certain amount to my savings account.
I've also worked for university housing for the past 3 years.
Conaway also has some other tips.
One thing you can do now that they didn't have when I was in college is you can track your spending, your finances online.
Don't forget about coupons. They are also a great way to help save money. If you shop at the grocery store once a week and save $3 each trip with coupons, that's $156 a year.
I look for coupons to see where I spend my most amount of money in a certain place, or for a certain item. I try to find coupons for that.
Just making small changes in your life can help you save money and still have fun.
Maybe get involved on things on campus that are free, so that you still get to hang out, you still get to do stuff, but it's not as expensive as going downtown or something like that.
So cash your checks and save. This is Michelle Dubin reporting for GC360.
Coming up after the break, we look into the little-known heroes of Milledgeville.
And later, we've got sports update, the Georgia College basketball teams. Stick around and we'll be right back.
My new mom and I have a lot in common. The great outside. We both love the outdoors. It's so shiny. That's not a flower. We both love geology. Oh, look. An igneous one. That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife. A labradoodle. That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Welcome back to the show. I'm Kit Souther.
And I'm Darlene Davis. And today we've got the latest and greatest in campus news.
So, to just kick things off, let's talk sports. The men's and women's basketball team are already breaking records in the young season. GC360's Stephen Boland takes a look at the team's success.
The women are on a hot streak with an 8-1 start to the season, and the men tag along with a 6-2 record so far in non-conference play. The women broke school records this week, placing 5th in the Division II Sports Information Directors of America poll. The men have yet to place in the top 10 of the poll, but have received votes for 2 weeks straight.
Like I said, with the rankings, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we don't really check it or anything like that. We're just going to try to keep winning, playing hard.
Terrell Harris has broken the 1,000-point mark and is now 12th in school history for career points with 1,114. He is also 10th in most double-digit games with 54. Kadesha Gibbs is dominating the scorebooks for the Lady Bobcats, giving her the athletic department's Athlete of the Week 3 weeks in a row. Gibbs holds the #1 spot in the PBC with most points this season and is averaging a double-double for the season with 17.6 points and 11 rebounds per game. Both teams will begin conference play during the holiday break.
Conference is just a whole new thing, so we got to just step it up 5 times more than what we have and just do better in practice and focus on the games we have ahead of us. So.
Reporting for GC360, I'm Stephen Boland.
When students go downtown on a weekend night, they typically see their friends and maybe a few police officers.
Yeah, maybe. But have you seen the Georgia College Heroes? GC360's Ansley Ponder has the story.
A new kind of hero is on the rise. They belong to a student organization called Heroes. These heroes go downtown every week and look out for students in potentially dangerous situations and either get them to snap or get help for them elsewhere.
We were coming back from over there, and right over there, if you look right there in between the little parking lot, we saw 2 people trying to fit something, probably their passed out friend, on the back of a pickup truck. And when we went over to go talk to them, we found out he wasn't responsive at all, pretty much completely blacked out.
Heroes stands for helping ensure the respect of every student. Brommuller told us how the organization was founded.
We are part of the Student Police Academy that's brand new, just started the school the first year it happened, and Lieutenant Purvis brought it up as an idea to help people out.
You may be wondering if Heroes is connected with the police force. Could you get into trouble if Heroes is a step in to help you out? Their goal isn't to stop underage drinking, but rather to keep students safe. The only way public safety will get involved is if someone is putting themselves or others in real danger.
Mostly public safety with Georgia College, but if we need help from the Milledgeville Police, they've got our backs too.
Heroes currently has 4 trained students and just added 36 new members who have yet to be trained. To be trained, you just need to take the bystander training class offered by the school. The course is offered throughout the semester and any student can take it. They do rounds, going through each bar and checking the bathrooms and booths for students who may need help. A few students gave us their take.
I mean, I think that's awesome. I feel like it's a really good idea because like people aren't gonna report it if they feel like they're gonna get in trouble, or, like go to the cops if they feel like they're gonna get in trouble. So I think that's like a really smart idea, like keeping you safe and like in a like subtle way that's like not gonna like get them in trouble.
I think it's a cool idea because SNAP can only do so much, and that's the only established student organization downtown that helps students whenever they're not able to get home or they're just not safe by themselves. So I think it's definitely needed on campus. I definitely support it. I think they're needed. It's exciting that it's only their second week, but they're already getting word out and it's going to be on the news. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I haven't gotten to see them out yet, but I definitely think it's a good idea. I think most of the times where people do need to step in are not necessarily when people are walking home to get a ride, but rather in the bars or just walking on the streets.
Students agreed they felt safer knowing that someone had their back.
Yeah, we're not here for underage drinking. We're not here to try and get you in trouble. We're honestly just here to help out.
There you have it, Bobcats. Someone has your back and they go by the name of heroes. I'm Ansley Ponder with GC360.
Georgia College is filled with fascinating professors with unique stories and exciting personalities.
GC360's Nikki Vandenhoek caught up with one of them.
Georgia College is filled with professors with different backgrounds, personalities, hobbies, and more. Dr. Amy Penny is an interesting professor. She is a theater professor at Georgia College, and she is very involved in the community of Milledgeville.
I'm the vice president of the Oconee River Greenway Foundation Board, and I'm on the board of the Milledgeville Film Festival, and I just recently got our department to join the Chamber of Commerce because I go to those events anyway, and I thought I want to be representing the Department of Theater.
Dr. Penny's theater students enjoy having her as their professor.
Acting too, we did yoga in her class because she really liked to connect the mind and the body. She's very different. She's laid back in areas, and she's also she's full of surprises. You never know what you're going to get.
Dr. Penny says her students are her favorite part about being a professor at Georgia College.
I work very hard to build a community in my classroom. They have to be built and they have to be maintained. And once I can create that community, then I think learning can happen. And I think good work gets done when students are invested in each other's success.
She's very high energy. She is very focused on research, so she really cares a lot about research and collaboration between students and faculty.
Dr. Penny is one of the many interesting professors on Georgia College's campus. Have you ever thought about what makes your professor interesting? I'm Nikki Vandenhoek reporting for GC360.
To all our GC360 viewers, we're really sorry that we're having technical difficulties this show. But to go on to our next story, Georgia College has been tobacco-free for over a year now.
GC360's Olivia Todd found out how students feel about the policy and the effective they think it is.
It's been a little over a year since GC instated the tobacco-free campus policy under the campus-wide Choose Health program. GCSU held a wellness celebration and even created smoking cessation classes to help students drop the habit, yet little has been heard about the controversial policy since then. We asked students if they had noticed a change on campus since becoming tobacco-free.
I guess I haven't seen as many people smoking cigarettes and stuff.
Not really.
Yes, I have. I know they used to have the smoking shelters and we have benches and stuff. A lot of people used to smoke there, and it would be a lot of people at once smoking there. But now I might catch people smoking, but it's not nearly as many as it was before.
The policy follows the Georgia Smoke-Free Air Act of 2005 and is a statewide policy that the University System of Georgia is making every college campus follow. Yet, despite that, the student body still seems split over the decision.
So I think it just kind of sucks. I feel like instead of doing a complete ban on smoking, there should have just been some better regulations done about people not smoking in the designated areas, because there were enough of them, and I think if maybe we could have just put in a few more and been a little more careful about where we were smoking, then I think that the ban could have definitely been non-existent.
I'm pro the tobacco-free policy. I think it's a really good thing. When I was a freshman, I used to walk to class and people would smoke just on their way to class, and I would get smoke all in my mouth right before my 8 a.m. and that was not the best way to start my morning.
But is the policy really being enforced?
You definitely don't see it as much, you don't see tobacco use around campus as much as you did before. So I think that just applying the rule has done a lot for the campus. Now, whether or not it's being enforced, if a GC police officer saw a student smoking a cigarette, I'm not sure, or dipping, using smokeless tobacco, I'm not sure that he would say anything or not, but I think that it has done a lot to improve what they were trying to do.
No matter where you stand on the topic, as long as the University System of Georgia remains tobacco-free, so does GCSU. For GC360, I'm Olivia Todd.
The Department of Mass Communication has a new addition.
GC360's Amanda Norris has the full backstory.
Has a brand new research lab located on the second floor of the Arts and Sciences building. Dr. Jennifer Green, along with Department Chair Dr. Mary Jean Land, has worked hard to open the lab this semester.
When I interviewed to come to work here, Dr. Land was really interested in that research. She's got an advertising background. And so she said, we would really like to hire you in order to develop more of a research culture in our environment.
And Dr. Green has done just that. This new research lab has been put to use this semester. Green and her class of 6 students conducted research about product placement in the media.
So the research lab right now is designed to look like a living room. So we've got a couch down there, a couple of chairs, a 42-inch flat screen TV or something awesome like that. We invested in a very expensive, very nice piece of eye tracking equipment. And so with the eye tracking glasses, participants will come into the lab and they put them on, and we calibrate them to really so that the eye tracker is looking at the person's focal point, and then we can expose them to a variety of media messages and observe where it is that they are paying the most visual attention. So currently what we're doing is we're conducting research on product placements in music videos. The participants come in and they put the glasses on, and we have them watch a couple of music videos that have varying amounts of product placement. So they watch the videos, and then immediately after we ask them to recall any brands or products that they remember seeing from the video. So from this study, we are getting self-reported measures of memory for product placement, but the coolest thing is that with the glasses, what we can do is go back through the videos and grab a screenshot of every instance of product placement in there, and then overlay on that screenshot where our participants were looking in that point in time. With this specific study, the question that we are answering is, are people even paying any visual attention to product placements in music videos? If so, which ones? And how long does something need to be on the screen for them to visually attend to it?
Dr. Green has enjoyed working on this study and looks forward to more research in upcoming semesters. For GC360, I'm Amanda Norris.
Coming up after the break, it's that time of the year again. Christmas decorations are out and about.
And the Georgia College tradition of the Nutcracker will return this holiday season. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
What's up? Welcome back to our very last episode. And since it's the end of the year, there isn't much left in theaters. The only thing to do now is to wait for Star Wars. So today, I wanted to share my thoughts on the series as a whole and what I and the fan base hope to see in this new addition to the franchise. By now, you should know the general plot, but here's a refresher. The series began in 1977 with the release of the first movie titled Star Wars, later renamed A New Hope with the additions to the franchise. We follow Luke Skywalker, just a regular average Joe who accidentally happens across a message from Rebel Princess Leia calling for assistance from Obi-Wan Kenobi because she has been captured by the Death Star, the battleship headquarters of the Empire. Luke then has to find Obi-Wan, rescue the princess, conquer over the Death Star, and its leader, Darth Vader. Problems ensue, of course, and the next two movies, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, consist of endless Death Star battles and confrontations with Vader. One thing that everyone praises George Lucas for is that he created an insanely diverse, in-depth universe. This is one of the most detailed stories of all time, and it was pieced together so well. Until the addition of the prequels in 2000. After giving in to pressures of fans, Lucas decided to give Darth Vader an origin story, which sounds like it could have been a really, really cool idea. Just at the time, Lucas was burned out and he didn't do much editing to the first draft, which is why Phantom Menace, #1 in the series, is so disappointing. It introduces Anakin, a young Darth Vader, but the movie focuses primarily on Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan's master, and Obi-Wan himself. The second and third movies go on to focus primarily on Anakin and his relationship with Obi-Wan, his master, and his descent into darkness. Now, this had the potential to be a great trilogy. I mean, it could have been fantastic. The writing was just bad. A common complaint is that no one likes the actor who played Anakin, Hayden Christensen, or his weird braid thing. There were also a lot of inconsistencies with the original trilogies, but they still have to be watched. I mean, it's just, you have to. But as everyone knows, this upcoming Star Wars, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, it takes place 30-some-odd years after Return of the Jedi, and introduces two main characters, Rey, the daughter of Han Solo and Leia, and Finn. There's also a new Sith Lord, Kylo Ren. Aside from these characters, in the return of the original three and Chewie, that's about all they let out. The director, J.J. Abrams, has kept this plot very, very well under wraps. And I'm really glad about this. I want to walk into this theater not knowing anything. However, one thing that I do want is new villains, new antagonists. Despite theories floating around saying like Luke is evil, no, I'm not a fan. I don't think that's going to happen. It would go against his entire character arc of Luke in the first three movies. It wouldn't make any sense. But a possible, believable theory is that Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son. I stand by this theory. I like this theory. It's possible, despite being completely predictable. It's possible. But all I ask from these movies is to be surprised. I don't want the same story rehashed. If they're going to steal the I am your relative plot twist, at least make it interesting. The last thing I'd like to point out is I am incredibly pleased with the direction and the design that this movie has displayed so far. I mean, it's beautiful, and you can tell that from just the trailers. Abrams is somehow being able to recreate the original look and the film design of the original films without having it look super futuristic CGI. And I'm excited. If anything, I won't be angered by the set design. But that's about all I have to say for these movies so far. No one really knows what to think going into it. I hope everyone's as excited as I am. But after you see it, let us know what you think on our media. I would love to talk to some of you about it. For now, let's send it back to Deanna and Michael on the desk. Merry Christmas, everyone.
If you've been on social media, then you've probably heard about the new Starbucks cup controversy. GC360's Olivia Todd has the story on this so-called war on Christmas.
War on Christmas. It's an expression that some conservatives use to criticize the practice of businesses shying away from Christmas themes to be more inclusive of all beliefs. It seems to be a topic of discussion every holiday season. Starbucks recently was accused of waging a war on Christmas by producing a plain red cup that lacks any form of Christmas decorations. We interviewed Jason Lambert, a barista at Milledgeville Starbucks. His opinions do not reflect the company.
Kind of annoying, honestly, as a barista, to hear customers come in and share their views. It's also kind of entertaining to kind of hear them share their frustration and annoyance with it.
Coffee competitors, such as Dunkin' Donuts, has decided to cash in on Christmas and adorn their cups with evergreen branches and the word joy. Yet that doesn't seem to be enough for some Americans. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has stated, "But they don't have Merry Christmas, they have joy. But I think they should put Merry Christmas on it. Then I'll start going there and buying coffee there, even though I don't drink coffee." While some are angry over this so-called war on Christmas, others believe it's nothing more than political posturing. The true problem, in this view, is the commercialization of the holidays, as evidenced by Black Friday. People on this side point out that many stores open on Thanksgiving, a day that used to be reserved for family celebrations.
I honestly think workers should have the day off for, these various holidays. I mean, I don't think it's fair that they should have to serve the rest of the nation when these people are off.
Whether you're a believer in the war on Christmas or not, it's obvious that the holidays invoke passion from almost everyone. For GC360, I'm Olivia Todd.
Do you enjoy Christmas decorations, or are you a Christmas Scrooge? GC360's Amanda Norris has a story on how these Christmas decorations have lit up Milledgeville.
There's no better way to get into the holiday spirit than by decorating. This includes lights, trees, and fun hats.
Back when I had a roommate, we used to have a little small Christmas tree inside our dorm room. And so we would decorate that and all that good stuff. But we have our SGA office decorated this year.
However, decorating isn't for everyone.
I'm not a huge decorator. I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to the holidays, but I do enjoy it. I just kind of get in the spirit literally the night before. Christmas Eve's kind of when I start, and then I'm kind of done with it by noon on Christmas Day.
Georgia College gets into the spirit by lighting lights on several buildings on front campus during the annual Hanging of the Green ceremony.
I haven't heard of anything like this before at any other universities or anything like that, so I think it's great to have, a tradition that we carry on at Georgia College by lighting up, all the halls and everything. I think it's awesome.
Then there are those who decorate their entire house, turning it into a Christmas wonderland. Not far from the GCSU campus is a family that does just that. This Milledgeville resident says it takes 2 months to get all the decorations up and coordinated with the music. He was inspired to start this tradition by his 2 little boys. Every year the decorations grow, and this year there are more than 80,000 lights. The family's favorite decoration this year is the polar bear. Whether you're a Scrooge or a Christmas fanatic, decorating for the holidays is a fun event that always brings everyone together. This is Amanda Norris, GC360 News.
It's the end of the fall semester at Georgia College, and that means it's Nutcracker time. Jai is back with a look into GC's own rendition of this holiday classic.
It's that time of year again, Bobcats. Georgia College is putting on the dance recital of the Nutcracker next weekend. For the past 19 years, this has been a tradition at Georgia College. The 2-act ballet focuses on Claire, a little girl whose toy Nutcracker seems to come alive at the stroke of midnight. The two fight off a mouse king, meet a sugar plum fairy, and dance inside a candy castle. John Dillon will be playing the pivotal role of the Nutcracker.
You know, I really think it's a unique performance just because it's a collaboration between the collegiate dancers and the community as well. And I like being a part of it because it's not really something that I grew up with as a kid.
The production will be directed by Amelia Pelton, Director of Dance at Georgia College. As always, this is one of her favorite plays to direct, especially with the opportunity to add new dances each year.
It's about a 2-hour show, and I would say that that's probably like not even like 1% of the time that actually goes into producing the show. You know, there's not just the rehearsals themselves, which happen every week and just about every weekend. There's so many production meetings, you know, and people work on their own. You know, if someone has a solo, they'll rehearse that by themselves sometimes. So it's a lot of work.
The dancers who have been rehearsing since September aren't the only ones excited about the show.
I mean, I grew up watching the Nutcracker on PBS when I was a kid with my mom, you know, and I always really enjoyed it on TV, so I'd expect seeing it in person would be like 10 times better than seeing it on TV.
The play will be making its debut this weekend. Ticket sales are going on sale this week as well as online. It will be performed at 7 p.m. December 11th and 12th and at 2 p.m. December 13th in Russell Auditorium. For GC360, I'm Jai Fitzgerald.
Well, that's it for news here at GC360. As always, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for the latest updates.
And don't forget to catch GC360 back in action next semester where news comes full circle.
But before we go, this is our last show of the semester, and it's Deanna and I's last time behind the desk. I want to thank everybody that's made this possible, from the studio crew to the PR people, everybody behind the scenes, the reporters, producers, director. It really has been a memorable experience, and I will never forget my time at GC360 behind the desk.
Absolutely, and we can't forget Dr. Schiffman. He's the man that makes all this happen. So a huge thank you to Dr. Schiffman. We really appreciate you. And also, it's Michael's 22nd birthday, so nice happy birthday to him. Yes.
Thank you.
But for the last time, this is where news comes full circle. I'm Deanna Hamilton.
And I'm Michael Wark. Thanks for watching.